Okay, this is my first attempt at a DIY video to put on YouTube. I've learned a lot from DIY videos, and one in particular was how to polish your car. And so since I am a government worker and on furlough right now, I decided I would try my own DIY video. You can see my shower, I don't know how well it shows up in the video, it's got a lot of calcium deposits in here. And what you can see on these two tiles right here are actually scraped with a razor blade. And when you do that, you can actually see the calcium deposits come off, little flakes, little white powder and stuff like that. And these two right here, these four, I actually used the car polishing technique, and I really like the results of those. They're very shiny, almost looking brand new. And I'll show you both techniques. The razor blade, which I did to all my molding up here to scrape off the calcium, was very labor intensive. And so anyway, I said I'll do that with a tile, but then after a while my hands started to cramp, and so I decided, well, let me try this car polish technique. What have I got to lose? And I'll show you. See, I'm using my GoPro like this. My dog doesn't think I'm too dorky. She doesn't really care. And as you can see, I don't know how well this will show up, but if you scrape, and this razor blade probably needs to be replaced, but you can see the powder, the white calcium coming off. And when you do that on a tile, it actually does come out pretty smooth, but you can still see, I don't know how well that's going to show up, but you can still see the water spots. And again, here's the tiles that I've already polished. So I'm going to show you how to polish. And I'll probably put a link on there. There's a guy who did a great video on how to polish your car. What I'm using is the Meguiar stuff, which is the Ultra Compound, and it goes with the orange pad. The different pads have different grains in them, and of course this has more abrasive liquid in it. And so as the guy in the video said, the first time you use this, you just put 4 little dots. And since I'm going to go ahead and start in this area right in here just to show you the technique, and what you do is you kind of spread that stuff out, and then go very, very slow. The overlapping pattern. I'll go ahead and go all the way over. There, and then I have my microfiber cloth, which I'll wipe it down, and I can already see that the calcium is almost all gone. You can rub some of that polish off, and you see still a little calcium right there. And so what I did with these other 4 that I really liked is I did the Ultra Cut twice on the same spot. And the second time you do this, you only need 3 dots because you got some of the material already in there. And again, I'm just going to work with this little section right here because all I'm doing right now is demonstrating the technique. Let's see how that did. You can see on the edges, well, maybe you can't see it, but I mean, that is mirror finish right there. And of course getting in this area right there is kind of hard, but I could live with that. And I don't know how well it's going to show up, But you can see a couple of these tiles, it still has some polish on them, but other than that, there is zero residual calcium. And so, of course, the technique that I use with these other tiles, God, it feels so smooth, is to go down the pad, and then the next step is called ultra finishing. And with all Meguiar products, make sure you shake them good. And I'll do the same thing. It's 3 little dots. And this will take out, even though the tile is pretty hard, doesn't have swirl marks in it, but so chances are this step's probably not even necessary. But it will give it a little more mirror finish. See how that does. Let's see if a little bit of light will help. You can see maybe it's still a little bit of calcium, but compared to the other ones, big difference. Mirror calcium stained. Now, I'm thinking about going all the way to the end and then using the wax on this to see if maybe that prevents any more calcium buildup. Okay, a little progress report. I've done pretty much all this section up here down to this row right here. And I can probably, when I do these next rows, I'll come back and do that little overlap right there. But anyway, I found the best technique is just to use the Ultra Cut a couple times if you still feel it's not smooth. But anyway, I don't know if you can see me in there, but this is hopefully to tell you how well this works. See how I disappear? Back to seeing me. Another technique that I didn't mention is when you're wiping off, when you're wiping off the polish, it's always good to have some water. Now this is what I usually clean my eyeglasses with, which is usually half alcohol, half water. That's convenient to have, so spray it on there, and it really helps get that polish off so you don't have to sit there and buff it off. So anyway, I'm going to keep going and report back in a little bit. Okay, final progress report. Pretty happy with this wall. Like I said, you can see got almost all of the calcium deposits. Not as happy with this wall. First of all, my compound pad wore out, so maybe you can see that it didn't get all the calcium off, so I'll come back later and do that, but it's still pretty shiny. So anyway, so that's the first step of my bathroom refurb. Next step is to redo all the caulk, which looks like crap, and